RGPF to find solution for we problem.
Good morning to your wonderful listeners of Real FM 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. It is a pleasure to be in the land of the living, to be talking with you and not about you. Yeah, it's a privilege to do that. And of course, when you hear the voice of a Jamu, pray for our nation because we do need it in a time like now. You know, it is the Eastern Division with the Conversation with the RGPF. And I am your host, Jessel Grant, Sergeant of Police, attached to the Community Relations Department of the Eastern Division. Right? Yeah. And this morning we're gonna have a warm conversation. I was not here with you last week, but I listened the program and last week's program just as a reminder. Um, Constable Callis was the host, and we had prosecution from well, and the way your face is a pity
Yes,
our
yes.
listeners and viewers can't see that face. By your personalities, I know for a fact, having experience working with you, I have no doubt that you will do good, whether or not you want to be back in red stripe. Save that, save that. Now is not the time to say it. Good morning to you, madam, and how are you?
Hi, good morning. My name is Al Richardson. I've been attached to the Rapid Response Unit for the past 2.5 years, and I must say it's a blessing to be here this morning.
Because you're in studio with Grant, or just because you're in the studio?
It's because I'm alive today.
Oh, you are alive. Grateful, grateful. But before rapid response, Richardson, where were you attached?
I was I've been in the Royal Grenada Police Force for the past 12 years. Well, 13 years. I worked regular duties, performing normal patrol. I worked through the entire country so far because there was rotation period. Then I spent 4 years in the traffic department and branch over to the special services unit, where I spent most of my policing career. I did numerous training there and was transferred to the rapid response unit in 2022.
How is that going for you as a female?
It's going pretty good. Yes,
Ah,
yes.
pretty good, listeners. So you realize rapid response unit, while one may say they expect to see the big bad wolves in terms of size and stature, looking at my guests this morning, they don't have much of
Too long we living in bitterness and hate. Now the time is right for us to renew our faith. I'm sick and tired of all the confusion. The bickering been going on much too long. So as we move to the new century, Father, hear my plea. Hey, Father, I pray for the PF to find solution for we problem. Oh, Father, oh, Father, I pray for every minister to see eye to eye with each other. Oh, Father, oh, Father, I pray for progress.
Yes, listeners, we will get progress, and not just the RGPF getting progress, we will get it throughout the land. Our education system would also be part of that, our health system, because after all, we are all parts of that entire circle, and that circle is Grenada. We were trying to get on with our guests being live via our YouTube and the Facebook page, but you know, when you deal with technology, there is always those glitches, and this morning we have that. So those of you YouTube and Facebook viewers, yes, you will still be hearing us. It's just unfortunate you would not be able to see us, but stay tuned, and you are free to send in your comments, questions, or suggestion via the chat. It will be followed on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for holding the on and staying there. As I said, our conversation this morning would be the whole aspect of RRU. And my guest before me is Corporal Laliton WPC Richardson. So, gentle people, when one speaks or think of RRU, it kind of leave a question mark, because we have SSU, and before the invent of RRU was Strike Squad. How do we make that complete relationship? RRU, Strike Squad, and now RRU, SSU, RRU, Strike Squad, whichever way it goes. What's the relationship and bonding?
Yes. So we have the RRU and the SSU, and we spoke about the strike squad.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is that during the year of 2002 to 2003, the country has seen a significant rise with gang violence within our beloved country. And yes, so the RGPF took the initiative and created a subunit within the Special Service Unit, which we call the SSU, which is called which is called the SSU, and that subunit was called the Strike Squad. And because the country had this fear of the crimes that were committed by those gangs, the Strike Squad was created in order to deal with those crimes and violence that was happening around the time.
Right.
So that Strike Squad was commanded by the officer in charge of the SSU. And I already mentioned previously that when people think of the RRU, they think of the big bad police.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe previously that was the intention of the RGPF, because we have the gangs, and in order to create that separation or dismantle those gangs, we have to show force.
Right.
So that was the intention of the RGPF. However, in 2008, the Strike Squad was renamed to the Rapid Response Unit. And that unit has since evolved from an anti-gang squad, where we deal with the gangs, to a more holistic policing department. And it becomes an independent department as well.
So, in light of that transition from strike squad into RRU, where we move away from just being there to respond or deal with gang and gang like behaviors, what is or are the present goal or goals of the RRU at this moment?
Okay. There are a number of goals which we have to accomplish as being the rapid response unit. Firstly, I must say we must be able to respond in a timely and efficient manner to reports made to the unit, because you don't want us to be like a daisy call and be getting called, because most of the calls we would get is for very serious offenses.
Right.
And then we cannot be like a daisy call, and we have to be very professional when we go out there at that time. Right? We also encourage interaction with the business communities, which plays a very important role in our daily duties, because we visit the business. They really cooperate with us every time. They appreciate the visit by the rapid response unit. The schools, we also have the schools. We check the schools on a daily basis, just making sure that they know we are there, because we provide a 24-hour service. So we try to get the majority of the public in whichever division we are. We
Right.
Right. We improve our communication through engagement and reassurance, because even though sometimes they don't see us, but we are there. From the moment time they see the uniform comes out, the police, the van, the level of respect and stuff is very high for us. And we really appreciate that, and we want to continue seeing that respect goes both ways. Right. We also improve our tactics in crime prevention through effective patrols. So we don't only patrol on the main road. So you won't always see us on the main road. We go by roads, we visit the beaches, and so on. That is some of our goals presently. And we also have objectives, which Corporal Lalit will continue to enlighten us on.
Yes, so as I must add to what Ms. Richardson had said, to sum up, the rapid response unit had moved from an anti-gang squad to a first responder unit. Okay, we respond to reports made of serious crimes and offenses or any other issue as instructed by the executive team of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Well, it is clear as to why the unit would have moved from strike squad into rapid response, and also the physics of the officers that is attached there is different to when the strike squad was implemented based on your goals and objective. But having that understanding, while Ms. Richardson had touched a bit as to some of the duties that you all perform in terms of going to the schools, the community, that kind of engagement. What is the core duties and function that you all normally perform?
We have a lot of responsibilities as members of the police force on a whole, and being a part of the rapid response unit. Mostly, we provide a quick response force to serious crime, hostage rescue. For example, we have escaped prisoners, and we are working tirelessly to get this person back into
Custody.
custody. We provide patrols in internal remote areas against illegal activities. So the well-known hotspots where we know most likely criminal activities would take place, we try to focus on these areas a lot. We provide teams to conduct escort duties for dangerous criminals, like you may have high criminals, you may have VIP personnel coming into the country. For example, we had the 50th Independence celebration, and we had a lot of delegates coming in, VIPs coming in, and we had our task to perform there as well. Also, we help deal with narcotics eradication. That's where we provide support for drug squad whenever they call upon us. The manpower to supplement other police units to suppress crimes, because we don't only work along by ourselves, we work with all stations and other departments. We work along with the regular police, we have CID, you have drug squad, we do much operation with also special services unit. We have to train personnel continuously to meet the changing crime environment. So training is always continuous. We have persons doing training on numerous occasions. There's no limit to that aspect of our policing. Right? We provide a reaction force in cases of emergency. So in case of if we have any disaster or anything like that approaching, we will always have a team in place. We always have teams in place. We get partly everybody. We have a mobilization plan in place. So we get everybody in. Right. We also provide support for humanitarian and disaster relief. And we also have a mandate to report suspicious individuals who are known criminals when we spot them out of the district where they normally be. And I must say, these are some of the roles and functions we perform.
Is there any other thing apart from the roles and functions in terms of duties that you would have performed during 2024 that you believe is of a highlight that our listeners should be aware of?
I must say yes, because we have duties, we perform mobile and food patrol duties, especially during the Yulitile season. We do VIP protection, prisoners escort on a whole. We may have other duties that may arise from time to time which take our attention, such as we may have special duties. We may also issue, like on this program today, that is part of our duties also. We provide static duties for events that may have a large crowd. And we also make focus on the tourist sites. For example, we have when the season is at peak, we have like the Annandale Waterfall, the chocolate factory at Victoria Diamond Chocolate Factory. We have the River Antwine Estate, as far as Granite Tank, especially those areas that may seem to be lonely.
So, listeners, when you listen to RRU, they're not just that heat and runoff unit, they also give their own beat in terms of creating safety awareness and protection for us all. But that has been 2024 in terms of some of the duties being performed. And of course, whenever you are seen in the performance of your duty, it is well accepted and welcome. But let us just step back, because oftentimes persons have their own perception about RRU just by its own naming and notion, rapid response. Because I worked in Carriacou for a period of time, I know St. Vincent Union Island, they have the SWAT. And when that black team step down, you know it is as when you look at SWAT on the television. But in light of your duties, your functions, what are some of the accomplishments RRU had achieved thus far that our listeners need to realize, our taxpayers need to realize, that they are not just running back and forth on the street, just driving and burning fuel, but we are getting worth for a tangible worth for these monies being spent?
Yes. So as you mentioned, the SWAT. We would not consider ourselves as SWAT. However, we perform similar duties to what people may assume that the SWAT teams would conduct. And we have in that department we have some well-trained officers. As I mentioned previously, we have officers from the Special Service Unit who are well-trained in tactical combating different aspects of violence. And also, we also have persons from different departments who was recently transferred into the Rapid Response Unit.
Right.
We have persons who was transferred from Criminal Investigation Department. So we have some good detectives also in that department. We have persons who are transferred from Fire, from the regular department, who are involved in community policing as well. We have persons transferred from Coast Guard. So we have a wide variety of police officers in that department as well. And for the past few years, the Rapid Response Unit have been working very hard. And some of our officers have accomplished a lot during that few years in that department. So some of the accomplishments we have a few officers that received training in 2024. We have officers that receive training in leadership, mental health, RU tactical training exercises, both locally and regional.
Right.
For example, we have Constable Bob, who recently attended an RSS leadership course, and he topped that course. Yes, he did extremely well. And also in that department, we have persons in the recent promotion who got promoted as well into a higher rank as well.
Right.
These are some of our accomplishments within that department.
So of course we are seeing that the rapid response unit is well stocked in
Yes,
want
yes,
of a
yes.
better phrase in
Yes.
terms of its rank and the quality of persons being placed there with the experiences.
Yes.
What are some of the areas you all serve as a unit? Or we understand your function. Is it a case that RRU is throughout the entire country or organization?
Yes. So what happened? We have three detachments. We have the central detachment, we have the eastern detachment, and we have the western detachment. The central detachment is located at Camp Selin. The eastern detachment is located at Camp Riman, which is located at Pauls. And we have the western detachment, which is at the fire station at La Fortune in St. Patrick.
With all that said, and having that appreciation that the rapid response has a well sorted unit in terms of persons coming from various departments and division within the Royal Grenada Police Force. How well, as a supervisor, can you say, or what the relationship is like between your team or department and the general policing body?
Yes. So since we have persons from different departments coming into the RU department, as myself, I worked in the Sotes police station. I was involved in community policing. I worked in the court for over 5, 6 years, where I gained a great knowledge of court procedures, laws, and different procedures when it comes to dealing with crimes and dealing with the general public. We have officers from fire department. With all those persons coming together, I would say we have a more effective team with great knowledge from different areas. So whenever we are out there, whatever challenges that may appear before us, we have officers who are trained and who are experienced to deal with certain situations. So we no longer have to call a particular department to come on the scene to deal with it. We have officers that are already trained in those departments to deal with those situations that may arise.
Right. Obviously, having performed all those duties and nothing being seized or confiscated at the end, having done all those operations, I know you all do team tag in that way. You create reinforcement or support to other divisions and departments. But as for a department, has there been any seizures or drugs or ammunition that has been seized and confiscated by your unit or department?
Yes, yes, we do. And I have before me our stats, our comparisons of stats from the year 2023 to 2024.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just read out the stats for you. And it states, so we have it separately. We have the Eastern team, we have the Western team, and we have the Central team. So during 2023, as we see the Eastern team, for planted material, which was weighed. So let's cannabis that was confiscated and was weighed during the year of 2023. We have a total of 7.11 ounces that was confiscated during the year of 2023 from the Eastern team. And as we see here in 2024, we've seen a growth and it increased by a lot. In 2024, at the end of the year, the Eastern team had seized 50 pounds, 2.69 ounces of cannabis. And this was seized, from persons out there at the blocks, the hotspot, from operations conducted, house searches. And we moved to the Western team. During the year of 2023, the Western team seized 4 pounds, 2.5 ounces. During the year of 2024, we've seen a significant change as well. They were able to seize 9 pounds, 1.8 ounces. We moved to the Central team. In the year of 2023, they seized 9 pounds, 12 ounces. And in 2024, we've seen a drop in that Central division. They seized 8 pounds, 15 ounces, 0.78. So we've seen a drop within the Central division from 9 pounds to 8 pounds. Okay, and as we move to the marijuana, which is the tree, the seedling that was uprooted in the year from the Eastern team, in the year of 2023, we have uprooted 387 marijuana trees. At the end of 2024, so sorry, what I'm reading here is the wrap portion, the portion that was found on person. So in the year of 2023, the rapid response unit have confiscated 387 wrap portions. In 2024, 840 wrap portion. The Western team in 2023, they confiscated 264 wrap portion. In 2024.
So, Corporal Ali,
Yes.
in lieu of time, not throwing off the statistics because I know that you all normally deal with offensive weapon. So, if you have the total,
Yes.
so maybe in lieu of time, because
Yes,
we had
okay.
right, we just pay attention to the grand total
Yes.
that was seized or confiscated.
Yes. So under plant material that was weighed in 2023, the department confiscated 9 pounds, 12 ounces. Sorry, in 2023, it was 21 pounds, 8 ounces was confiscated. In 2024, we've seen 68 pounds, 3.5 ounces. That is under the cannabis that was weighed. Under the wrap portion that was confiscated from persons, we have seen in 2023, we have confiscated 1,347 wrap portions, and in 2024, we have seen 2,314 wrap portions, which was confiscated. Under the marijuana trees and seedlings, in 2023, we have confiscated 4,731 marijuana trees. In 2024, 18,121 trees, marijuana dime bags. In 2023, the RU department confiscated 294 dime bags. In 2024, 841. And we also moved to marijuana forge. And this forge was confiscated also from school children.
Right.
And I could tell you that. We have seen in 2023, we have confiscated 25.14 grams. However, we have seen a significant drop. In 2024, we haven't confiscated any from those school children as well. We moved to marijuana cigarette. In 2023, 88 were confiscated. In 2024, 112 marijuana cigarettes were also confiscated. Cocaine, which is a cocaine ball, in 2023, we confiscated 360. In 2024, 201. Crack cocaine, in 2023, we confiscated 6.2 ounces. In 2024, 3.49 ounces. Ecstasy pills. And this is a control drug we haven't seen much here in Grenada.
Okay.
And this usually found from students, usually from SU or visitors that come into the country. Yeah, so we will find that, yes, from our local persons. And we have seen in 2023, we have confiscated 17 ecstasy pills. In 2024, we haven't confiscated any. Apparatus. An apparatus is what an individual use. It might be to consume the drug, whether smoking or taking it by mouth, drinking, whatever they use it. Or it might even be the grinders, what they use to grind the cannabis, is also called an apparatus.
Right.
And we have confiscated in 2023, 13. In 2024, we have confiscated 17. And that is under the control drug. And we move to weapons. And some of the weapons that were confiscated, we have knives, cutlass, ice pick, scissors. We have screwdrivers, filotos. We have ammunition, firearm. We also have the imitation firearms as well. All right, and we have the air rifle pistols.
So just to highlight,
yes,
in terms of, we know we have that issue with firearm and ammunition. While what in terms of the statistics, how much of those firearms and its related that was found?
So for the firearms in 2023, the department have confiscated five firearms. In 2024, 4 firearms were confiscated. And the ammunition as well. The department confiscated in 2023, 62 ammunition, and in 2024, 47 ammunition.
Right.
As well.
What about the imitation? Because I know that has been a battle for us, and also the air pistols. Were there any confiscation by your department?
Yes, there was. In 2023, the department confiscated 7 imitation firearms. In 2024, 3 imitation firearms were confiscated as well.
And a question, those confiscation and seizures that you're highlighting here, has there been any arrests coming out of it, or is just a matter of those things are found and seized?
From the imitation firearm, no person have been arrested.
Just to help with Corporal Anthony,
from my knowledge,
I must say that for the confiscation of the firearms, the imitation firearms, the pistol, numerous persons has been arrested for it. There are cases where we may do in conducting block searches and stuff. There mightn't be anybody around, or the person may hide in other places. We doesn't, based on the technicalities of the issue, persons may not get charged for it because we may find it hidden somewhere.
Okay.
Yes.
So persons has been investigated
Yes.
for same. Right. You in just to back up a bit, you spoke but under the drugs, you spoke of dime bags. What that is exactly for our listeners' knowledge.
Okay, the dime bags is the small Ziploc bags that they normally package it in. Right. They even have the package, the dime bags package that have the cartoon characters on them.
Okay.
Some of them appears to be like candies, and you find them hidden, and you get drugs in them.
Okay. Because sometimes as officers we use the legal term what the law says or how we label it, and our listeners who is for their education might just miss or sleep. Oftentimes the rapid response unit is seen conducting traffic check. I don't want to say stop and search. Traffic check, right? Has there been any accomplishment from the unit in regards to that?
Oh yes, we have a great accomplishment when it comes to conducting snap VCPs, because sometimes we get to know the pattern, the movements of well-known criminals as well by conducting VCPs. And while conducting VCPs, we also get the opportunity where fixed penalty tickets does be issued to persons, sorry. Right? For the year 2023, we had 270 fixed penalty tickets being issued by the unit, which been increased, a huge increase in 2024 by 812 tickets being issued.
From your knowledge, does those tickets are those tickets be paid or officers has to go to court?
You get some of the tickets being paid and some of the matters being taken to court.
But what I can say, over 80% of that ticket has been paid.
Okay, so it's legitimate tickets that have
Yeah.
been issued.
Yes,
Because
yes.
oftentimes, and I'm happy that you raised that in ratio to the percentage, because oftentimes persons believe that RRU or traffic department is harassing them when conducting those traffic check or VCPs, but of course, it is for their own safety and protection. With all of those seizures and accomplishments, all of those operations being performed, has there been any arrest made by your unit overall in terms of the functioning and performance of duty?
Yes. So there have been arrests that was made. The Eastern team in 2024 had made 74 arrests. The Western team had made 70 arrests, Central team 67 arrests, which gives a total of 211 arrests that has been made by the department during the year of 2024.
But a question to you both, gentle people. How do you all get the time and the stability to conduct all of that and still are able to go to the court to give evidence? How does it happen?
I must say it happens because of dedication, the motivation. Because within the unit, you may find a lot of persons being highly motivated because of the leadership that comes down. We make sure we take care of persons' welfare within the unit, so we always get the spirit high, the esprit cool. We
Right.
get it to the max. So it is challenging, it is tedious sometimes, but we do go the extra mile.
And I must add, in our department, we have supervisors that motivate the subordinate officers in the department.
Right.
Especially our officer who is presently in charge, Sergeant Modest. He's a great motivator. He will come on a daily basis and motivate those officers.
Well, you just did what I consider to be touchy, because I was about to ask you under whose leadership the RRU is now being operated, and you read my mind.
Yes, yes.
In terms of you're functioning, and we do understand the role and responsibility of the RRU or the rapid response. What are some of the other engagements that RRU take as we continue to make our community safer for all to benefit?
Okay. I must say we conduct community walkthrough, and we do that with other departments, stations, and divisions also. Um, Most of the time, we team up with officers from the criminal investigation departments. We walk throughout various communities where they may have a rise in criminal activities, such as there may be a spike in housebreaking. So then we go to the communities there. We engage members of the public who may relate various observation that they've been they may be observing throughout the village, and that initiative is well received by the community due throughout the walkthrough. Also, we conduct school visits. We continue to foster a good relationship with various schools within the three policing district, dealing with issues affecting schools. The most common problems that are reported is delinquent behavior. We have bullying, discipline, drug offenses, weapons, and the attitude towards authority among the students. Of lately, we find a lot of school students gambling around school compound, on school compound, around the compound. After school, you even find them gambling in uniform as well. And we are also very active with our after school patrols. We conduct static duties among within the sports meet, which assist us in getting the crimes to go down at a lower level, because we conduct searches on persons during those sports meet. Even school children, we get weapons from them, we get drugs from them,
And,
right?
and of course, I want to help you echo this one, which is your business visit, because I did get some feedback from some of our business personnel that did complimented you all, especially, and I'm only repeating because I don't want to call their name, but they said, especially within the festive season, RRU has given us that reassurance. I had one business personnel saying to me, even if we have our security at our institution, whenever we see your RRU guys, we feel comfortable, we feel assured, and they always have some tips and guidelines to give. So I want to say to you, my colleagues of another or different department, to keep it up. I know it is a tedious job. I know it is demanding, but I ask of you, don't give up. You both are supervisors in your own right. You are leaders, and to continue to do so, because RRU have a well mix in terms of rank and service within the department. We just have to say goodbye, and I give each of you just 5 seconds to say that.
Well, I must say it was a pleasure being here to share the knowledge that I have acquired during my period in the rapid response unit. And we are here to continue to serve you. That's why we provide a 24-hour service.
Yes, so and I must say it's a pleasure being here because I've seen many radio programs where where different departments will come in and share the views and knowledge. However, this is the first time I believe that the RO is on a radio program. So I take the pleasure and say thank you to Real FM also for having us here. And I must say, I must give thanks to the general public out there because you mentioned earlier on some of our motivation, and it's some of those persons in the public out there that give us the motivation. Because in spite of persons bashing the police and the RU, we have persons out there that commend the police and the good work that they have been doing. So I must say thank you.
And I also say thank you to you for doing a good job and sticking to it. And to you, our wonderful listeners of Real FM, we say thank you for sticking with us and continuing to work with us. But don't remember, Friday 28th, Eastern Division breakfast sale, and also Come the 31st of May, let's sail on the sea as we continue to work together. If you see something, know something, hear something, we urge you to say something as we make our community safer. That prisoner on the loose, you see him, you hear him, you know something, call 911, contact us. Let us continue to work together. Bye for now.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
Welcome to the latest news update as